Husky fans, welcome into another edition of NIU Weekly. This is version number 5, Mambo number 5. We're already fifth of 5 shows into the season. I'm Andy Garcia, alongside the Associate Vice President and Director of Athletics here at NIU, Sean T. Frazier. Sean, great to be with you again. And we're getting closer to football. The schedule is out. We know we're going to have 3 home games, 3 away games, starting with Buffalo coming up soon. How did the schedule kind of work out for you? Are you happy with everything, having the 6 games? And does the schedule kind of set up what you guys were looking for? 3 Wednesday games followed by 3 Saturday games?
Yes, what we talked about, obviously in the athletic director's room, and just talking about how we would move forward after we made the decision to come back. 6 games sounds right. We're hoping we can get them all in. Obviously, it's going to be a challenge in cooperation with COVID and obviously our new medical protocol. But it shaped out right. We had the first crossover against Buffalo. We knew that was one of 3 that we had picked earlier before our stoppage and our pause. It's about right as far as where we have. We've got 2 home games right out the gate. That's excellent for us. And then we go down the line on the road and then finish up with another home game and then see where we go from there. So, it's shaped up exactly what we anticipated. Fingers crossed about making sure that we can actually play these games.
And to cap it off, and hopefully on December 18th in Detroit with a MAC championship game, it's nice to play 6 games and have an opportunity at a title.
No question. This is it will be an asterisk year no matter what we do. Obviously playing only 6 games. But at the end of the day, it's a great opportunity for our young men, our program, our institution. We're going to make the best of it. I know that the team is extremely excited. Coaching staff is extremely excited about this opportunity and are going to do everything they can to make the most of it. Yeah.
We'll find out more about the operations and what's coming up with the details of the games hopefully soon. I want to move to talk about Huskies Invest, the campaign. We had TJ Fearbuck on last week. I know you guys have had a solid start to the campaign. What can you tell us? I know there's big holes, but the campaign has started out well.
Yeah, it's always good to have your supporters do what they have consistently done since I've been here. They know it's about the support for our student athletes, our program, the institution, and again, publicly, I'll say it again, we cannot do the things we do without their support. Their unconditional support, no matter what goes on. We've got Husky supporters, Husky fans, Husky alumni that realize that to be able to play at this level, to be able to compete at this level academically and athletically, we must have external support. And again, it's right out the gate, excellent support, excellent engagement. When you hear the stories of our young men and women in our program, folks are impacting lives. We wouldn't be able to do the things we do without the external support. And we really do appreciate that. It means everything to us.
Yeah, we also want to say thank you to more than 50 season ticket members who have turned their season ticket purchases into donations for the COVID-19 relief. And that's a great way to support NIU athletics, Sean. And I know you want to say thank you because that's a great start, a great turnout to the COVID-19 relief.
No question. The people stepped up and understand that this is a year of first. A lot of things that are happening that are beyond our control. So yes, thank you, season ticket members, supporters. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the level of support that you continuously do year in and year out. So again, those individuals who've turned those into donations, thank you. For those individuals who are considering are turning that into donations, thank you too. So either way, we do appreciate you, and that type of support is significant in our world.
And just a reminder, you have until November 1st to make a decision on your football season tickets if you have not done so already. And I know NIU is calling those individuals, or you can call 815-753-PACK or the email Huskies tickets at niu.edu. So Huskies tickets at niu.edu with that decision. Hopefully you have until November 1st to make that decision. And beginning next week, the traditional Week of Giving, part of Huskies Invest, and you've been doing this for several years now, Sean. And the Week of Giving really focuses on the sports programs and the student athletes. Of course, you can also still give to the overall athletic department for COVID relief. It should be a fun couple of weeks, and if you're able to support, visit huskyathleticfund.com or call 815-753-1923. So huskyathleticfund.com or 815-753-1923 during regular business hours. And I'm really hoping that fans consider donating because there is so much good going on in NIU athletics. We need the momentum to continue. And we're talking more football. We're going to get the offensive and defensive coaches on this week. We're going to talk offense with Eric Eidsness in just a couple minutes. But it's in a way, as we talk about Huskies Invest, the Week of Giving, to still show your support overall for the athletic department, or if you want to show for a program.
Absolutely. No, this is big. I don't want to beat a dead horse on how important this is, but if you look at our track record, you look at what the state, institution, what others are giving to our program, this is essential to be able to move our program to the next level. So we deeply appreciate it.
Okay, we're going to talk to offensive coordinator Eric Eidsness. He's going to join us, and there he is. We're getting closer to NIU football, and Coach has joined us. And again, we'll talk defense next week, but let's talk a little offense. And Coach, we are happy to have you on. Season number 2 for you, but just talk about the beginning and what this practice schedule's been like, where you guys have been coming from to this point. But at least you guys know now you've got a schedule, you know who you're playing, and you know when it is. That's got to be a good feeling, and I know the players got to feel good too.
Yeah, Andy, it's been really an emotional roller coaster. I mean, it's for the players. I think that our university and Sean has given great leadership and vision, and we've tried to protect the players, and they know that we have that in mind. But man, just getting out there, seeing guys knowing there's a purpose for why they're out there. As young men, you want to prepare and do things, but you want to have something that is out there that you can go out and achieve, and why you're doing things. And I think there was just so much uncertainty that when we did get the schedule and we did hear that we were going, just the excitement, the enthusiasm, there's been a lot of energy at practice. The kids are really, they're just excited. I mean, you think about, we had 2 spring practices, then we were spring break, and all of a sudden we're shut down. And, nobody in their mind believed that it wasn't going to happen. At that point it was like, wait, we'll get it worked out. And so just to be back out there doing things and just to see the fire, the energy that the kids have has been a lot of fun. And, they've just stayed the course. Coach Hammock's done a great job with the vision for those guys and each phase along the way. What do we need to get better at? What do we need to work on, control what we can control? Just doing all those things. But just getting back to football, it's been a lot of fun. The offense versus defense, it's been a really healthy time. I mean, I think when something is taken away from you, and it's given back, and just the opportunity to go out there and do something, you really think about, how much you really love something. And, to do that, it's fun to be out there on the field with those guys and just really appreciate it. So it's just been a blessing.
So I'm going to hit you up right away. I was at practice, and I like what I saw. I'm not going to give you all my cues, but I did like what I saw. First day of pads, too, and I was able to kind of fumble through out there and see. But talk to me about this quarterback room. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of guys in the quarterback room now, and I'll let you share your thoughts and the progression there.
Yeah, there really is. And, I think the biggest thing that, when you have competition and you have a number of guys that are competing, you want it to be healthy. And the biggest thing you always stress is, we're only as good as the guy that's up. And so we need to be in this together. That means as you compete, we want the best of you, but you don't want to win a job because somebody else failed. You want to win a job because you won the job. And I think right now the chemistry in the room is very good. It's healthy. Guys are supporting one each other. They're wanting to see the unit do well. And I think when you're driven to lead the unit and do those things and just lead the charge, it's healthy and it's good. Ross comes back in his second year. He's got good experience, much better command of the offense and knowing what's going on, better feel for personnel, just protections, how to handle those things. He's able to make run checks that he wasn't able to make a year ago. And just the playbook is starting to expand, and I think that is something that it's exciting for a young man when he starts to learn more and do more that way. But part of it is because he's being pushed. We push him as coaches, but there's nothing like competition to bring out the best in young men. And, Andrew Haydett came in and joined us at semester time as a graduate transfer, and he's been a great addition to our room, and he brings a lot of positive energy. He's got a real strong arm, a lot more athletic than you think because he's a really big kid. And then Rodney Thompson is a junior college transfer who's a very good athlete, good runner, just has a nice way about doing things. The good thing is the players have really bonded to those guys, and you can just see the want to be led by those guys. And I think that's the thing that outside of football, that's where they have to shine, and that's where they have to really, build that trust with their teammates and stuff. So I think right now it's good. We had a really nice segmented practice yesterday where we did red zone backed up. We did scrimmage, open field and things. And, all three quarterbacks, Ross was at 86%, Andrew was 71%, and Rodney was at 68%. So a high, completion percentage, but no turnovers. And I think that's the biggest thing, that you can win a lot of football games if you hang on to the football. And you're always trying to get through to young men that it is okay to punt. And I think, when you believe in your defense and you give them the opportunity to go out and battle, and you don't put them in bad situations, it becomes a true team game. And I think that's the thing that you're always trying to impress upon these young men is situational football. And the opportunity to score is much greater when the field is short. So let's make sure that we're doing our part, but also putting the defense in a good situation. So it's been a really good battle. And, each guy has kind of risen up at different times, but they're supporting each other. And I think that's the good thing, because in this year, in this situation, one guy could be down and for COVID, one guy could be down for injury. You just never know. You could go from 3 to 1 in a blink of an eye. And so you always have to be prepared. You have to probably prepare one more guy than you normally do, because you have to see the big picture that way.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The running back room, a lot of new names. I know you guys are excited about the talent that you have in the backfield. Who are some of the names we should know about in the upcoming season?
Yeah, Aaron Collins is a guy that comes to mind right away. Aaron joined us as a transfer. Really a neat kid. He's from Florida originally, went to NC State and then to junior college and then ended up here at Northern Illinois. And just really a quality young man, big, strong, physical runner. You're definitely going to see a physical presence, but he does have a really good gear about him. And he can, take it the distance, which sometimes with a big back, you don't see that ability. And that is good. Rondarius Gregory, who played for us last year, towards the end of the season, really had a nice game against Western Michigan when we won here at home. He has really matured and done a nice job. He's more of a power back, really will hit it up in there and do some things. Harrison Whaley is a true freshman out of Des Moines, Iowa. Harrison was a 10-7 100-meter kid as a junior and then missed his senior year of track. So don't think he got any slower. He had a 65-yard touchdown run yesterday, and it was really good to see him open up and go and do some things. And then there's a group of guys that are kind of battling for, who's going to be 4, who's going to be 5. But same thing. We got to have a number of guys ready. That's a position where you've got 11 guys in every play trying to hit them. So, being durable and doing those things is a big thing. But really, once again, you've got a couple of bigger backs, and then you've got a speed back, and it's nice to have some change-ups, in that room. So those would definitely be some new names, but some names to be aware of.
This is NIU Weekly. I'm Andy Garcia alongside Sean T. Frazier. We're joined by the Husky football offensive coordinator, Eric Eidsness. And Sean, I'll give the next question to you.
Yeah, so you got the position of the skill guys. Gotta love them. Gotta love the skill guys. Talk to me about our offensive line a little bit, your perspective. Part of the run game is obviously extremely important. What do you like? What are you working on? What's the status?
Yeah, it's really a good group. It really is. I mean, obviously, we return a fair amount of experience there. We've added some good young guys as well. Right now, they're playing very consistently. Yesterday, they had their best day, which was exciting to see, growth. Marcus Cox is really a guy that's playing physical football, played as a redshirt freshman last year. The growth that you would hope would happen is happening. He's more confident. You just see that swagger about him on the field. And the game is won and lost up front. It really is, and everybody needs to do their part. But, the closer you get to the football, the more critical your position becomes. And he's just really, from an attitude standpoint, leading the way. Braden Patton would be the vocal leader and the guy that really directs the ship. And just does a phenomenal job with those guys. Logan Zernitz, who's playing right guard, is another. He's just a road grader, gets out there and just moves a lot of bodies and does a lot of things. And the nice thing about that group, they just, pick up their lunch pail and they go to work, and Ben Olsen is a senior who's played, quite a bit of football here, and he's playing the left guard position for us. But the nice thing is we're really deep this year. A good personnel meeting this morning. Talked about 8-9 guys that we felt really good could rotate in there. And once again, when you start talking about a COVID situation in these times, you do the best you can to protect your bubble, and kids are being smart about it. But, you have to have that next guy ready to go. And, some of those guys we've been playing as 2-position flexibility, some even 3, just because of what potentially could happen. And so you can see an offense and defense change dramatically, not necessarily because of injury. So you're really trying to develop all of them, because you have to be ready for what potentially may happen. And if it doesn't, then you're sitting in great shape, but you don't want to get to that point and then be surprised. But that group is really playing at a high level right now. They're confident. It's a close group, which most O-lines are. And they're having some fun playing football, which is really good to see, because I tell them all the time, this is a big time deal, but it is a game, and let's go out and have fun doing it.
Finish off last question to you, Coach, about the wide receivers. And we know about Cole Tucker and Tyrese Ritchie, but there's going to be more faces we haven't seen yet. Some redshirt freshmen, even some true freshmen we'll see out there. What excites you about that squad?
Yeah, I think the depth of it is really good. Cole Tucker he's just Mr. Consistent. He's steady. Obviously, if you need a play, he's going to make it. He can play all 3 positions in our wide receiver room. And so he gives you a lot of different looks and different ways to move him around and do different things. Tyrese Ritchie, obviously very explosive. Last year took a lot of short plays and turned them into big plays for us. But Dennis Robinson, a guy who played a little bit last year, more of a situational guy, has really worked hard on his game and really has come a long way. I expect Dennis to play a big part in what we do. Trayvon Rudolph is a true freshman, and this kid is very explosive. He's exciting. People are gonna really get to know this name, I think, in a hurry. And the nice thing about him is it just never seems to be too big. He just goes out there and he plays. Sometimes you get young kids and they've got a lot of ability, but when they get out there, you can just see it. They just they're not ready, and that's not unnormal, or unnatural. And he just goes out there and plays. Fabian McRae from Phillips is really a young man that was redshirted last year. Fabian can play all 3 positions for us, slot or either outside position. That's exciting. Mohamed Torre, receiver from New Jersey, is a really big physical presence and does a nice job on our short, intermediate things, but really does a lot of the dirty work. He's not afraid to crack safeties and not afraid to get in there and, cut off a defensive end, whatever you might ask of him to do. And I think that is, really when guys take that approach that, I don't just have to be a ball catcher, and they understand that my block springing that big run is just as important, or my buddy catches the ball and I clean the safety so that he can go score. When guys do those things, it just elevates the whole group. And now all of a sudden it gets to be contagious. And it's really fun because I think we're going to be able to play a number of guys at that position. And then you got your swing guy in Daniel Crawford, who really some wide receiver, does some tight end, he's kind of our Swiss Army knife. We were doing handoff run exchange the other day, and all of a sudden he kind of saunters over to our little run drill. And I was looking at him, he's doing some footwork things. I said, oh, let's don't get too crazy. Some of these other guys want to play too. So it's just there's a good feel about things right now with the guys, and they're really pulling for each other. And, sometimes that receiver room can be a little bit about me. And right now I think it's really a we thing.
Well, Coach, good stuff. And I know I'm looking forward to getting out in practice, looking forward to games, 3 weeks away, taking on Buffalo. I know we're excited to see what the offense is going to do. A lot of new faces, but we're also going to see some, as you said, some faces we've seen around for a long time. And we're looking forward to some action. And I know you are too, Coach. I appreciate the time, and good luck through practice, and I'll see you soon on the field.
Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Right. That is the offensive coordinator, Eric Eidsness, and that's good stuff, Sean. I mean, he breaks it down. Right. I mean, he doesn't hold anything back. He tells you what the offense is. And this is action, right? They're going to have to score points this year.
No, there's no question at all. It was good to see. I had a chance to get out to practice and the first day of pads. And you can see the athleticism. You can see that the offense and some of the things going on right now with the scheme. And it's good to see that there's players that are here and players that have been brought into the program to really do exactly what this offense is supposed to do, which is to score points. So I'm excited about it. Obviously, not too excited, but I do like the fact that the kids are excited themselves, and you can see that intensity. And I'm excited that he's excited and Coach Hammock is excited. So we're definitely a work in progress, but good things ahead. No question about it.
Yeah, good stuff. And talking about football, if you haven't been on, Husky fans, on the YouTube channel, here on this channel, you haven't looked out and watched the 1998 Streakbuster with NIU defeating Central Michigan. Over 600 views have been on there so far to watch this with Bill Baker, Mark Lindo were on there with Joe Summons, breaking down the game, remembering the memories. It was tons of fun, and we've had a great response from that, Sean. It was really cool to see that next Tuesday, coming out on Tuesday night, October 20th, mark your calendars, because NIU Athletics, as part of Huskies Invest, the campaign, is going to broadcast a special edition of the Huskies' historic 2003 win over Alabama. Now, during this special presentation, you'll also hear from many of the Husky greats who played in that game: quarterback Josh Haldy, Brian Atkinson, Nick Duffy, and more. That will premiere on Tuesday night. That's October 20th, 7 p.m. on the NIU Athletics page right here on YouTube. And you don't want to miss that. Again, great stuff to look back to see why and where things happened, where the turnaround was for this program. And it wouldn't have happened not just because of what football did, but the donors and the fans and the support that they have shown to NIU.
Yeah, you saw the progression. There's an adage that tradition does not graduate, and what you saw there was the tradition and the progression of the development of this program. Again, there's been many championships and other things that have happened previous to some of these things, but what you saw there is the progression into what is today, with obviously Coach Novak and some of the things and some of the players you had mentioned that were a part of the foundation. So we never want to forget. We never will forget. Certainly, definitely on my watch, that we'll make sure we continue. But we love the engagement. We want to give homage to those who have come before us. That's what tradition-based programs do. So these are all great things. Alabama is going to be a bit of a sore spot for me, as you possibly know, but it was good to watch that team. I watched that game through, and let me tell you something. That team, that coaching staff, that fan base deserved that win, and they did it in an official way. So that's a part of our history. It's great to have the engagement. It's great to relive that and to really see where we're going, and I really appreciate all the support behind it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you always tell me, I know that's a sore spot. Will you watch it with your good eye? You always tell me, but
they beat them. There's no question about it. And let me tell you something.
Yeah.
One thing about the fans in Alabama that I have spoken to since then, they respected NIU after that game. They understand football. They get it, and the Tide lost, and they did, and NIU did a great job in defending their honor and going down to an environment that understands and breeds football. So it's a great part of the tradition of NIU. So you got to love that.
Good stuff. Now, we talked offense this week. with Eric Eidsness. We're going to talk defense next week with Derek Jackson. He's going to join us on the show. Don't forget, subscribe to NIU Athletics right here on YouTube. Again, talk about all the good stuff that's happening. You're going to see more videos as well. And don't forget about Huskies Invest, the campaign. There's many ways to help out NIU, and please go online and look at that as well. Sean, another great show. Looking forward, getting closer to football, and we'll talk again on NIU Weekly next week.
Great job, Andy. So long.
For Sean T. Frazier, I'm Andy Garcia saying thank you for watching NIU Weekly. We'll talk to you next week. Go Huskies.